Rain fell in cold, relentless sheets as Michael tightened the strap of his worn leather jacket and stood at the edge of the cemetery. The gray sky mirrored the heaviness in his chest. Today, he was not just a father to his 10-year-old daughter, Emma. He was a single dad trying to hold on to dignity while attending the funeral of a man he barely knew, an old acquaintance of a friend. The damp soil, the muted sobs around him, and the faint smell of wet leaves created an atmosphere that seemed to press down on him, suffocating. And yet, in the midst of grief and strangers, something unexpected caught his eye. A young woman, clutching her growing belly, trembling, her face streaked with tears. She looked utterly alone, yet desperate, her eyes scanning the mourners as if she were searching for an anchor. Without thinking, Michael approached her, offering the only comfort he knew how, a steady presence. "Do you need a hand?" he thought, though he didn't speak aloud. She nodded faintly, and together they navigated the crowd. If you believe in the power of kindness and second chances, take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel, Act of Kindness. Michael had always carried the weight of responsibility. After Emma's mother left years ago, he learned how to stretch every dollar, balance work and school, and keep hope alive when it felt like the world was determined to crush it. He wasn't wealthy, nor did he have a grand life. His days were filled with long shifts at a small delivery company, evenings of homework help and bedtime stories, and weekends spent making sure Emma had moments of laughter even when life offered little reason for it. But helping this woman, who couldn't even tell him her name at first, was instinctive. He held her coat as she shivered, guided her to a bench beneath the sparse trees, and offered a small bottle of water. It was a simple act, but in that bleak, overcast moment, it felt monumental. Hours passed in silence, the funeral slowly ending, leaving behind only puddles and grief-soaked ground. Michael helped the woman to her car, insisting she take an umbrella. She turned to him, eyes glistening with gratitude. "You don't even know me, why are you helping me?" she asked softly. Michael smiled faintly, a mix of exhaustion and understanding. "Because some things don't require knowing, just human decency." And with that, he watched her drive away, the rain masking the tears that he didn't bother to hide. The day that had started heavy with sorrow took an unexpected turn that no amount of preparation could have predicted. Later that evening, back in his modest apartment with Emma asleep in her room, Michael's phone rang. It was a lawyer's number he didn't recognize. Hesitant, he answered. What followed seemed impossible. A distant relative, a billionaire uncle Michael barely remembered, had passed away. And in his will, Michael's name appeared as the sole heir to an inheritance of $500 million. For a man who had spent decades counting pennies and living paycheck to paycheck, the numbers seemed like a dream, like something out of a movie. But the money, enormous as it was, carried more than just luxury. It carried the opportunity to rewrite the narrative of their lives. Michael thought about Emma, about the nights they had spent worrying over rent and school supplies, about the kindness he had shown a stranger in the rain. That same instinct that made him help someone without expectation had, in a strange twist of fate, opened a door to unimaginable possibility. Michael didn't immediately buy a mansion or a fleet of luxury cars. His first priority was simple but profound: security and comfort for his daughter, and giving back to those who needed it most. He invested in the little neighborhood school Emma attended, started a small community fund for struggling parents, and found ways to help families facing hardships similar to his own. But perhaps the most profound impact was internal. The experience reaffirmed for him, and for those who heard his story, that compassion is never wasted. The act of kindness he extended to a stranger at a funeral didn't just save her day. It changed the trajectory of his own life in ways he could never have imagined. As weeks turned into months, Michael kept in touch with the woman he had helped, learning that she had given birth to a healthy baby girl. Their bond was quiet but sincere, a reminder that even the smallest gestures ripple outward in ways we cannot predict. Michael began to realize that the world was both fragile and beautiful, cruel and generous, often all at once. His heart, once heavy with the struggles of single parenthood, now carried the weight of hope and possibility. And he shared that hope with Emma in the simplest of ways, through bedtime stories, laughter in the park, and lessons in generosity and empathy. Sometimes it takes a quiet act of courage to change everything. Sometimes the hand you extend to a stranger ends up guiding your own path. Michael's life became a testament to that truth. He didn't just inherit wealth. He inherited the understanding that kindness, no matter how small, always matters. And that day in the rain at a funeral crowded with grief, a single choice to help had reshaped his world forever. If this story touched your heart, please like, comment, and share this video. Let the world know that kindness can transform lives in ways we never see coming. Before you go, leave a comment below telling us about a moment when a small act of kindness changed your life, or someone else. And as Michael sat by the window that evening, watching the rain turn to soft twilight, he felt the profound truth that had guided him all along. Love, empathy, and courage were the richest inheritance of all.